Welcome to my spoiler review for Spiderman No Way Home, so please get ready. If you haven't watched the movie, please go and do so. You may return to the video. So please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you may get all of our videos. So we have had a strong beginning for this movie. Actually, as we just landed after the Far From Home ending, and it continues from there. But I'm really surprised that despite everything that Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, went through with the revealing of his identity after Mysterio practically blamed him as his murderer in that video, where we never saw that Spider-Man actually, what happened with him. But no Avenger actually tried to reach Peter Parker to help him. Even Doctor Strange only helps him per his request. But someone who actually helped him, Matt Murdock, of course we never saw him with his Daredevil suit. This is just to illustrate the cameo. He had a brief cameo, but although it was really brief, he was pure gold. I mean, it was really good. It was really good. So I guess they will continue with Daredevil and with Kingpin on Hawkeye. It's a great day to be a Daredevil fan. So the way he grabbed the Stonebridge, the stone that was thrown to Peter, and with all of his dynamics and everything, it was really good. But to be honest with you, I don't know if it was necessary for the Aunt May to be killed, because I never thought it. Well, maybe Peter Parker needed to grow, and that's something that he achieved on this movie. And Aunt May says the phrase, with a great power comes great responsibility, classic from Uncle Ben. But the thing is, why did she need to die? Wasn't supposed that happened with Uncle Ben before on the MCU? But he had this moment, and actually I believe that it wasn't necessary for her to die. So yeah, it was really emotional, but no, I'm not buying it. But there are some things that doesn't make sense. For example, it was supposed that everyone who knew Peter's identity were brought to the MCU. However, the Electro from Jamie Foxx, he didn't know that Peter Parker was actually Spider-Man, and he only found out when he actually met Andrew at the last battle. Actually, Andrew and Tobey Maguire had really great cameos, and it was an homage to their Spider-Man. And I think there will be sequels, especially with Andrew Garfield. Maybe he will continue with his because he never got his trilogy finished, so maybe he will have another chance, the last chance for that. And the way, for example, it was like Toby was like the father, like he was like the mentor for Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and Andrew was like the older brother, So that dynamic, it was really good. But I don't know, and this is one of the things that doesn't make sense. How come they just found out cures for Peter's villains. That I know that, or we know that they're villains, and well, for the lizard, Andrew will knew what to do, but for the other villains, like, they just took a couple of minutes to find out how to reverse their evil side. Doesn't make any sense. And also, like, Toby on the last battle, because well, everything happens because Tom Holland's Peter Parker wants to do good because of Aunt May, well, encourages him to do so, and well, he tries to fix the villains that came here so they won't die when they return to their universes, and it gets all wrong, and so Green Goblin kills Aunt May, and well, we know what happened later, but it didn't make any sense, because if they're gonna cure them and then they're gonna return to them to the time where they are gonna get killed, how is that gonna work? Or will they have or create new branches of timeline? How does that work, right? And well, I love the way that Toby stopped Tom Holland's Peter Parker from murdering Green Goblin at the final battle, right? And all of the speech when Tom Holland's Peter Parker said that, well, Aunt May died, and she said the phrase, "With a great power comes great responsibility," and Toby finishes the phrase, and Andrew says, Uncle Ben said the same thing, and it was really good, but we never got to see what was or what happened to their characters after their respective movies. I mean, they just talked. Toby said, well, I'm living with MJ and all of that. He supposed that he has a family and all of that, but he never said, well, I have a daughter, it's called Mayday, like in the comics. That will have been really cool, but we never got to see that. And Andrew, he said, well, I'm never being with someone else besides Gwen after Gwen's death and all of that. I was kind of disappointed, but in the end, well, I guess Tom Holland grew as a character, and after Doctor Strange undo the spell and launches a new one, it makes everyone to forget, and on that way no one else can cross to the MCU. Well, he ends up with no Aunt May because she died, no Stark Tech because nobody remembers Peter, and no friends because, well, Ned and MJ, well, they forgot who Peter was, and they will go to MIT, and Peter is like, okay, is he going to MIT? I don't know. But he ended up like really on a grief and a bad position, we might say, as the Spider-Man that we have seen in the previous movies, that like Tobey and Andrew, that he's alone and he has to do everything by himself, no help, and at the end he ends up by tailoring his costume, and he flies like Spider-Man, classic Spider-Man, flying, launching his web and all of that, shooting his web. It was really cool. So for the new trilogy that it was already announced, a 4-movie for Spider-Man with Tom Holland, I think they will go with maybe with Venom, and that's what we will have, because on the cameo, the first post-credit scene, so we have Venom over here on a Mexican bar or restaurant, at the same time that everything is happening at the Battle of the Statue of Liberty, New York, where the three Spider-Man will fought against the five Sinister, not six. So he's asking to this bartender, well, about Thanos and the Avengers and everything. And then he goes back, and Venom is like, "Oh, they're returning us to our world." It's like, yeah. And so a small piece of Venom left or was left there at the bar, and it is supposed that is the new that was there for a sequel, right? Because like Spider-Man is gonna have a new beginning, and maybe because he's all sad and all of that, he's going through all of this stuff, he's gonna have this dark side, and maybe he will find out Venom, and that's it. Maybe that will be the new movie. But something that doesn't make any sense is that actually Eddie Brock didn't know Peter's identity. How come is that he was brought to the MCU? And maybe you may argue that it's because Venom actually with the collective mind of millions of years, and it is linked to these other universes, knew Peter's identity for the Eddie Brock from Tobey Maguire's universe, but we don't know. Nothing is sure about it. Now, for the second post-trailer, post-credit scene is the trailer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and we saw here Elizabeth Olsen, Wanda, as per Doctor Strange request. He asked her for help because supposedly Doctor Strange, evil Doctor Strange, Supreme Doctor Strange that we saw on What If is going to be the villain of this movie. However, well, I don't know if that's the case, because there are some rumors that actually Wanda is the villain of this movie. And then also we will have either Shumagorat or Gargantus, one of these two villains that is like octopus and all of that. So, well, that trailer, it was kind of good, but I think it was soft for what is coming on May 2022, and it is supposed that there are major reshoots of Doctor Strange. Rumor has it that on the screenings, for the internal screenings, with staff and everything, people didn't like Doctor Strange movie, and they made major reshoots. That was information coming from Chris Randall from Beyond the trailer, and there are a lot of cameos coming. So I don't know, did they change the main villain from Wanda to Supreme Doctor Strange? We don't know. But share your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button about all of this. But what do you think about it? Or do you prefer Wanda to be the villain of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Share your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. I'm Paul. This was Phantom. See you the next time. Bye.